people make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce, because that's
I have been falsely imprisoned through the misuse of the Baker Act, the Marchman Act, and a petition for a guardianship.
And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone.
Picture this, the glitziest award show on the planet. The music is pounding, the crowd is roaring, and another fresh-faced artist, clutching their first golden statue, steps to the mic. They thank God, they thank their family, and then, without fail, they turn to the Queen's throne. And I have to thank Beyonce. The crowd erupts. It's the ultimate sign you've made it. But what if that thank you isn't just gratitude? What if it's an acknowledgement of a debt paid in something far darker than any of us realized? We see the flawless image, the power couple goals, the genius mogul, Jay-Z, presiding over an empire. But deep down, in the shadowy corners of the industry, a question has been festering for decades. What is the real price of a throne built on sacrifice? Welcome to Behind the Fame. Tonight, we're not just spilling tea, we're cracking open a vault of stories the machine hoped you'd never connect. This is a web of raw confessions, hidden FBI files, and a pattern of manipulation so clear, so calculated, that once you see it, you can't unsee it. You've felt it, haven't you? That nagging feeling when another brilliant young talent ends up broken, silenced, or becomes a tragic headline. It's not a coincidence, it's a blueprint. What if those superfan chants and sold-out stadiums are more than just applause? What if they're the fuel for a hidden energy game, a system of magic and mind control so high level it rewires your reality without you ever knowing? We are connecting the dots, the news skips, the story stars deny, and the evidence that's crawling out of the shadows, just like it did for Diddy and the Trail, leads right to the top. Stick with me, because this isn't just another scandal, this is an exposure. And by the end of this, the way you see the superstar world will be shattered forever. Let's be real. The industry wants you distracted. They want you streaming, dancing, arguing online about who's the real queen, anything to stop you from looking at the patterns hiding in plain sight. But one artist, Mia, started looking. And what she saw was a world where the glitz and glamour are just a smokescreen for a much steeper price. A price paid in silence, in twisted loyalty, and according to the bravest voices, in ritual.
Jay-Z and I signed to Rock Nation. The first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. People make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce, because that's it. And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone now. And even Adele, because she's retired now, but her career would not exist if I hadn't made Jonathan Dickens into a manager. And bitch, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce. Oh, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. Fuck that. Or be a witch. Or be that, all of that. Fuck all of that.
She tells it like it is. The invitation to the top comes with strings attached. Strings that look an awful lot like devil horns and jars of black goo. She says it loud and she says it clear. Jay-Z and Beyoncé aren't just moguls, they're gatekeepers. Picture it. Red rituals in the penthouse suites of luxury hotels. A-listers trading their souls for airplay. The higher you climb, the weirder and more sinister the demands become. And the pressure isn't just psychological. Look at the pipeline. Look at the history. Diddy and Jay-Z, always rumored to control the velvet rope. Remember Aaliyah? A rising star, surrounded by powerful men. The whispers are that Jay-Z knew more about what was happening with Diddy and R. Kelly than he'll ever admit. That history of turning a blind eye isn't just a rumor, it's a pattern that survivor stories echo year after year, Case after case.
Bet you want to know why Jay-Z and Beyonce's name keep popping up around the whole Diddy thing. Well, that's why I'm here. Now, first thing you gotta know is when somebody like Diddy gets taken down, things always start out as a rumor. Diddy has had rumors floating around for like decades. Well, Jay-Z had a problem. He right there in the corner, by the way. Jay-Z has had a few rumors himself, but more like speculation. People see Jay-Z in a picture of R. Kelly, they're like, I guess they both make music. Then Jay-Z with Harvey Weinstein. People are like, I guess they both do business. Then, of course, Jay-Z with Diddy. Now, hold on. Here's the thing. Jay-Z and Diddy go way back. Like back to the days when they were both coming up. So you could say they might just have a lot of respect for each other. But on the other hand, people are like, well, if you've known each other that long, Jay-Z, you must have known what Diddy was on. But Jay-Z has always had a history of keeping quiet, which brings us to Aaliyah. Now, I'm sure y'all remember R. Kelly dated Aaliyah when she literally needed her parents' permission slip to get married. Now, if I remember correctly, her parents got the permission slip and said, marry who? And that's how this whole thing got exposed. Now, a lot of people in the industry actually knew about this relationship because they would work with R. Kelly. They would be in the studio with R. Kelly. Now, according to Dame Dash, who, listen closely, was Jay-Z's first business partner and also dated Aaliyah when she was 21. He said this is how it went. He said he didn't want anything to do with R. Kelly because everyone knew what type of timing R. Kelly was on. He looks over at Jay-Z and Jay-Z's out here creating collab albums with R. Kelly. But then he saw why. For starters, everyone had a crush on Aaliyah. People were waiting down the clock until she turned 18. But Jay-Z decided to get a head start. Now, there's absolutely no proof that Jay-Z went after Aaliyah, but people were like, let me see another picture. But apparently Jay-Z wasn't successful and Dame Dash started dating her when she was 21. Now, what does this all have to do with Diddy? It's the secrets. It's the, like what happened to Diddy, making people wonder. Nas came out, well, he technically didn't come out and say this, but while he was having his legendary beef with Jay-Z, he's doing a radio interview and he's saying it's weird that Jay-Z be working with people that need a permission slip to marry somebody. Okay. But again, rumors, kind of like what was happening to Diddy. But then this lawyer comes out and says, boy, do I got some news for y'all. And here's where it starts to get wicked. Now, he's going after Diddy. Specifically, listen closely, anyone that Diddy might have done something to, or anyone who's watched Diddy do some of these things and stayed silent about it. Now, first of all, the lawyer's taking calls from anyone. So theoretically, anyone could just call trying to get some money saying Diddy did this to me, Diddy should pay me. But in the lawyer's defense, I'm sure he's looking for people with proof. Honestly, I don't know him. He could be trash. Anyway, what he said next is what got people interested. He said, and I got some names. He said some wild names. Some names that will blow your mind. He's selling this. He said, yo, y'all finna wild out when you hear these names. I'm not gonna say it now, but y'all finna wild out. So people are like, Now, in Beyonce's case, it's just because she's married to Jay-Z and she's been in the industry for like 20 years. People are like, you must have known something. But that's all people have.
Bet you want to know why Jay-Z and Beyonce's names keep popping up in the wake of the Diddy scandal. Well, that's the million-dollar question. When a titan like Diddy falls, it starts as a rumor. But for Jay-Z, a man known for his meticulous, sloppy-proof image, the problem is mounting. He's always been in the picture. With R. Kelly, with Harvey Weinstein, with Diddy, they go way back. So the question becomes, if you've known someone that long, what did you know? And when did you know it? This culture of silence isn't just about signing NDAs. It's about knowing that if you speak, you'll become the next headline or worse, the next tragic hashtag.
Diddy's sloppy. He was bound to get caught. Jay-Z, not sloppy. So he would be a tough one to catch. But on the other hand, the FBI is pretty good at their jobs. Remember that lawyer from earlier that's going against Diddy and is gathering all those names on his alleged accomplices? Well, he also said that he gave a lot of his information to the FBI. And if Jay-Z's name pops up, he's in trouble, because how the FBI works is they'll take that information and they'll put it in a little vault with all the other information they might have on Jay-Z. When it's enough to lock him up, that's when they'll come out.
Diddy was sloppy. He was bound to get caught. Jay-Z, not sloppy. He'd be a tough one to nail. But then, a lawyer enters the chat, and the game changes. This lawyer going after Diddy makes a statement that sends shivers down the spine of the entire industry. He says he's not just coming for Diddy, but for anyone who watched him do these things and stayed silent, and then he drops the bomb. I've got some names. Some wild names. He's teasing a list that he claims will make us all lose our minds. And in the middle of this unfolding legal drama, I have to ask you, the behind the fame family? What do you think is really going on here? Who do you believe? the powerful icons, or the voices rising from the shadows? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Now back to the lawyer. He claims to have given a mountain of this information to the FBI. And if Jay-Z's name is in that file, he's in deep trouble. The FBI works by gathering intel piece by piece until they have enough to build an unbreakable case. For the first time, the walls are shaking for more than just tabloid drama. New lawsuits are being filed. That nobody's untouchable energy is starting to feel terrifyingly real. This isn't some Tinseltown conspiracy, it's bigger. And it's coming out piece by piece. You are witnessing the breadcrumbs of the next great cultural reckoning. But it's one thing to talk about a dark system from the outside. What happens when someone strong enough to refuse the ritual starts telling us how the machine eats its own?
Their ambition is financial. Like, if you wanted to be the Black Bill Gates, as Beyonce says, no one can get in the way of that. And even people from smaller communities and smaller plights, you know, like to them, yeah, where is Sri Lanka? Who are the Tamils? Who cares? You know, I think to them, being part of and building this narrative of the American, you know, the wealthy Black community is more important, and whoever has to be thrown under the bus for that was what was gonna happen. And I think Ben Brofman was also the first Black Brofman, you know, and that's a really important point to understand. So
what do you mean by that?
Because his mom is Black, you know, and so I think that was a movement that was happening. And yes, I had the template that was radical and is the edge that hip hop needed, you know. But I was also inspired by hip hop and brought it back to America in a different form and shape on a very real situation, because there was actually a revolution happening in my country at the time, you know. And by then, hip hop had already moved into finance, where they were talking about bling. And I brought back the old school version of hip hop, where you're, you know, in the category of what artists like Nas and, you know, people that were more political and conscious, what they were representing. So it reignited something else. But then it got repackaged by hip hop, you know, and I think it did influence a lot of Kanye's taste or Rihanna's taste and Beyonce's taste. And what happened with those four artists, like Jay-Z, Kanye, Beyonce, and Rihanna, my stuff did affect that, you know.
Mia didn't just turn down the devil's deal. She's calling out the system for using her genius, her originality, and then tossing her to the curb. She says the game is rigged so the chosen ones reach billionaire status, but only after they've wrung your creativity dry and repackaged your soul as their next big hit. Her testimony isn't alone. For every Mia who lives to talk, there's another story that ends with someone silenced, drugged, locked away, or worse.
She said the party going off. You see celebrities from all over, but you also see a lot of like the really intense kind. So she talks to a couple celebrities, she's chilling, and then she has something to drink. She says she immediately feels super duper lit and has to go lie down. She goes to her bedroom, she lies down. Then allegedly Diddy, Jay-Z, and an unknown female celebrity walk in. Diddy walk in tweaking. She said wild eyes, talking about, you ready to party? He like kind of shaking her. She falls. She then gets up. Then allegedly Jay-Z picks her up. And well, this next part might be a little intense. So if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, skip to when I put my hand up like this. So Diddy and that unnamed celebrity at this point are just watching while Jay-Z does stuff he shouldn't be doing. Then Diddy, after Jay-Z takes a step back, then begins to do stuff he shouldn't be doing. Afterwards, Diddy then allegedly tries to force her to continue. That's when she gets her wits about her and begins to scrap. Diddy's shocked, like, what's going on? She grabs her clothes, takes off. She's running through the party holding her clothes, and apparently nobody's doing anything to help. She gets outside, gets those clothes on, runs to a gas station. Hand up for the folks that ain't want to hear all that, by the way. She gets to a gas station. The female clerk at the gas station sees that this girl's in distress, so she gives her a phone. She grabs a phone, she calls her dad, says, hey, I snuck out, come pick me up. Pops picks her up, Pops takes her home. Now, she then says this has affected her through her whole life, and it put her in a deep depression.
Take this survivor's story. It starts like so many do, in the shadow of a party that's a little too exclusive. She describes being young, impressionable, surrounded by celebrities, and feeling that something is just off. After a drink, everything goes hazy. Then comes the fear, the sense of being trapped, of being prey. She describes Diddy, Jay-Z, and an unknown female celebrity entering the room. What follows is a nightmare of assault and humiliation. Afterwards, instead of protection, she's discarded. The trauma sticks for life. Depression, triggers, constant anxiety. She's another soul the machine tried and almost succeeded in breaking. And when these victims try to rise, to name names, the system grinds them down even harder.
Let's talk about real quick what Jay-Z has to say about this, because he responds immediately. He says that lawyer, Tony Busby, remember that lawyer I showed you earlier? Jay-Z says he's basically doing all this for the cash. He's trying to blackmail me. Jay-Z then says for a crime as heinous as this, why would you file a civil suit? File a criminal suit against me. Now, for those of you that don't know, there are two different types of trials in the United States. There's a criminal case where basically the police is going after you, you're going to jail. Then there's civil, which this case is. You're not going to jail, but you more often than not have to pay somebody money for damages. It's like getting sued. So Jay-Z saying, why would you sue me? Call the police. Jay-Z then goes on to say, I had to talk to my daughter about this. My daughter, she finna go to school, and then what? And Jay-Z said in the last line to the lawyer, I look forward to showing you how different I am. And here's where it starts to get wicked.
Jay-Z's response to the lawsuit, he calls it a cash grab. He dares them to take it criminal. But here's the wicked part. In a civil court, the questions get asked in public. How old was Beyonce when you met? How old was Aaliyah? What did you know when you claimed you didn't? The headlines swirl, but people forget the real victims, those who got stuck in the crossfire, those who lost everything for refusing to play along. Now let's get into the insider layer, where the system's grip is felt the hardest. The price of defiance isn't just a stalled career. It's a full-scale, psychological, and personal sabotage aimed right at your soul. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone from inside the castle starts seeing through the smoke? It's one thing for outsiders to complain, but what if the CEO's own daughter says she's got the receipts on what really happens behind the Roc Nation curtain?
I haven't seen my mom since December 25th, 2023. That's the last time that I saw her physically. The last time I spoke to her was December 30th, 2023, when she said that I was dead to her. My mother and I, our relationship has always been strained. Miami-Dade Police Department storm into the room and they tell us, we received a call that you're getting beat up nonstop. We need to separate you guys and talk.
Whoa! Hold on, wait a second. Because I want to make sure that everybody understands what's being said here. All of a sudden, he's pulling a DV on you. People have to come running in because they were called. Your mother wasn't there, right?
No, so it's important to note that my mother was in New York City. They stormed in to the door because the police officer, she didn't say this on the body cam, but she told me, she said, we got the call, she's watching you from New York, there's a camera in here. If I were you guys, I would move out of here because clearly the people who live in here have a problem with you guys. That camera was not in a common area. That camera was in our bathroom, facing our shower in a closet. And
what?
Yes, it was in our closet. We had a closet in the shower that faces directly into the shower, into the toilet.
Someone installed a camera in there to be able to watch what you were. This is a total invasion of privacy, and there's no excuse for it.
The private investigators, where she rented the house directly across the street from us to watch us 24/7, followed us to the farm. We already knew we were being followed, but I didn't know until after that arrest that they were living across the street. And then my therapist called me and she goes, Demori, I had this weird girl come into my office, play this, the audio sounded nothing like you. I'm like, what do you mean? Can you describe her? She described her and I go, I know who that is. I sent her the picture. I said, is it this woman? She goes, yes, how do you know her? I go, that's Natalie Anderson, known as Natalie Love, an assistant at Rock Nation.
This is Demori Haddon's story, and it's not a typical confession. It's a horror saga. She describes a world where your home isn't safe because cameras are hidden in your bathroom, where you're stalked by private investigators hired by the company, where your own therapist is approached by a Rock Nation assistant with fabricated audio. Imagine being accused of crimes that court documents later say never happened, all because you might know secrets that could cost them everything. This isn't a smear campaign, it's systematized retaliation, using every tool, legal, financial, psychological, to isolate and destroy anyone who might talk. If this is how they treat their own flesh and blood, what chance does anyone else have? All right, fam, we're diving deep into the heart of the darkness, and I don't want you to miss a single revelation. Make sure you've subscribed to Behind the Fame and hit that bell icon so you're notified the second we drop our next investigation. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. Now, let's pull back that final curtain. Let's step into a world where the hype isn't the magic. The real magic is happening behind the scenes, on stage, and in the minds of millions. This is the realm where power isn't just about money or fame. It's about energy, ritual, and control. So subtle you're cheering for it and never see the strings.
But y'all sitting up here trying to come for me because I'm speaking the truth about this witch, this high-ranked sorceress witch who has y'all under a spell. She had me under her spell too. I could admit it. I know Beyonce had me under her spell. And when I went to her concert in 2015, she had a concert on my birthday. I'm a twin. Me and my twin sister went to go see her. And I seen her in person. I seen the witchcraft in person. I seen how everybody stood up off their feet with their eyes just like really focused on her, not even looking around, unconsciously just standing up. I had to look around and see what was going on. Not only that, it was this one dance that she did, y'all. I forgot what album this was and everything because it's just like it left my mind because I turned it crazy. But she did this dance on stage and it was raining in Philly this day. And she was like, I love rain, I love water, because she has a marine spirit in her ocean. Then I told my sister, I turned to her, I said, she's about to do this rain dance and the rain's gonna stop once she's done the ritual. Y'all, she started doing this dance, and mind you, I used to watch all her stuff. The girl can move.
A former practitioner of the very spiritual systems Beyonce is tied to lays it bare. She doesn't just accuse, she breaks down the mechanics, the choreography as ritual, the concert as a stage spell. She paints Beyonce not as a metaphor, but as a high-ranking witch who manifests power through centuries-old traditions rebranded as pop spectacle. Those iconic performances, according to her, they're intentional invocations, rituals that draw power from the crowd's collective energy. She goes further.
This woman is a high-ranked sorceress witch. She does a lot of covenant things. This is even people who are witches spoke out against her about blood covenants, children, rituals. She does love spells on her fans. She pranks around on the stage looking pretty and cute, and she does love spells on her fans. She does more than just love spells. Y'all participate in satanic rituals. The images on the screen, the way the stage is set up, the things that she do, y'all are partaking in her rituals. All she cares to do is to use y'all energy that she harvests, energy harvesting. She use y'all energy she takes it and then she puts back out more spells. All it does is charges her up, and then it just keeps y'all wrapped around her finger. Why this woman lives rent-free in your mind today. This is why her songs play in your head without you even listening to her music. This is why she's your screensaver. This is why all you can think of is things Beyonce, because it's a spell. Like, are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? Not we, but are y'all okay? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Like, y'all don't even know why y'all feel this way about this woman, why y'all want to defend her all the time. Y'all under her spell.
The reason die-hard fans can't explain their obsession, it's not the hooks, it's because they've become participants, unwitting sacrifices in an ongoing energy harvest. Every concert, she argues, is a mass ritual. The lights, the bass, the crowd united in worship. It isn't fandom, it's a spell. Beyonce's power grows with every transcontinental stadium, every obsessive social media feed, every defense mobilized online. So the next time you can't get a song out of your head, ask yourself, is it just a catchy melody, or did you walk right into a ritual without ever realizing it?
Whether Jay-Z did the crime or not, the only way you can get a famous, rich celebrity to pay you is by threatening their reputation. Because no, they can't arrest them, but boy, they can do something called a deposition. That means they can ask them any question, anything goes. Jay-Z, how old was Beyonce when you met her? They could be like, how old was Aaliyah again? Jay-Z could be like, hold on a second, now we was just friends. They'd be like, wow, you have all sorts of friends, huh? Especially old boy Diddy. Not a good look. Celebrities don't want people knowing all this stuff. The irony is, I just let you know all this stuff in this video. No trial needed. But anyway, why wouldn't Jay-Z just settle out of court, pay the money, keep his reputation clean? Well, that's because settling out of court don't work all the time.
We've connected the dots from the courtrooms to the boardrooms to the very stage itself. Lawsuits are mounting, FBI files are thickening, insider testimonies are piling up. The cycle of secrets is fracturing. Here's what matters. If secrets this profound can hide behind the smiles of the world's most celebrated icons, what are we missing every time we cheer? Are we just fans, or are we part of the fuel? When all the glamour fades and the truth can no longer be hidden, who will you believe? This has been Behind the Fame, pulling back the curtain on the world they never wanted you to see. I want to hear from you now. What topic, what artist, what dark corner of the industry do you want us to investigate next? Your comment dictates our next move. The truth is out there. We just have to be brave enough to look. Until next time, fam, stay aware.